Wild and Furious Ape 8-Armed Crazy Ape Ancient Cang Ape. After traveling to the world of the Imperial Beast with tens of thousands of people, Chen Fan found that he could not only see the evolutionary path and methods of the Imperial Beast, but also see its preferences and weaknesses. More than 2,000 years ago, after 2 moons appeared in the sky, this world became a world of monsters. Mountains, rivers, plants and trees can transform demons into spirits, and antique swords can also breed spirits. Monsters, demons, giants, elves, zergs have oppressed human living space to the extreme. It was not until the appearance of a beast tamer who could sign a beast tamer contract with monsters that humans were reborn. 2,000 years later, Chen Fan traveled with tens of thousands of people. He tilted his head slightly and said to his royal beast thousands of years later, "If I become a legend, you will definitely be in my legend. Thousands of years later, if you become a legend, then I hope you also have me in your legend." A group of animal companions around me are roaring with dragons and tigers, and their hearts are filled with the vast expanse of heaven, earth, and the vast yellow universe. Tang Dynasty has me, fearless in all battles. Blue stars have me, gods and demons retreat. Keywords: Royal Beast, Pet, Summoning, Cultivation, Evolution, Training, Battle. Keywords of the novel: Royal Beast. I can even cultivate gods and demons. No pop-ups, Royal Beast. I can even cultivate gods and demons. Download the complete TXT collection, Yubeast. I can even cultivate gods and demons. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Transport Mist, Blue Star. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Transport Mist, Blue Star. Little brother, don't sleep, something big is happening. Who is it? Who is praising me for being handsome? Feeling someone tugging at his arm, Chen Fan impatiently opened his eyes. The next moment, the scene that caught his eye made him unable to help but stare for a moment. This is a huge square. The entire square was filled with people, some panicked, some shouting, and the noise was distressing. Strangely, everyone seems to be in the age range of 18 to 278. There are no elderly people. There are no children. All these people are surrounded by a dark and eerie mist in the middle of a square. No one knows what's outside the fog. What people can see, apart from the densely packed people on the square, is only the light pillar in the center of the square, which is over 50 meters high. The light column emits soft white light, illuminating the entire square. But that white light cannot penetrate the fog around the square. All of this makes people feel eerie and unreal. What is the situation? Why are many people talking about time travel? How could I have come to such a strange place, even though I was playing with a little white on the grass in the park? Just as Chen Fan was surprised, a furry head rubbed against Chen Fan's palm. Xiao Bai. Chen Fan lowered his head and glanced at the stuffed cat in his arms, his heart suddenly warming up. In this eerie scene, there was also a little white accompanying him, which dispelled a lot of the fear in his heart. At this moment, the sun rose and the fog suddenly began to dissipate rapidly. As soon as the mist dissipated, the crowd was not yet able to rejoice when they were completely shocked by the scene before them. I saw a huge and terrifying monster standing around the square, originally shrouded in thick fog, in 4 directions. Southeast, northwest, and north. A chimpanzee over 20 meters tall, with a fierce gaze, a fiery red ant with flames in its mouth, a tiger with 2 horns and a tail resembling a meteor hammer is slowly swinging its tail, smashing out one pit after another on the ground. There is also a green cow, like a mammoth giant elephant. Although the green cow seems to be sleeping on the ground, every time it exhales, it creates a strong wind. 4 monsters, each with a very large body size, emitting a fierce and boundless aura all around, frightening people to retreat in succession. And on the backs or shoulders of these 4 monsters, there is one person standing. 3 men and 1 woman. The four of them are not very old, they all seem to be in their 20s, wearing battle armor and carrying swords on their backs, each imposing. Especially the woman on the chimpanzee's shoulder. That woman is about 1.77 meters tall. Although she is wearing battle armor, she has a pair of slender, straight, and fair legs that are very eye-catching, easily making her legs full of brain. But in this environment, no one dares to take a second glance at her. After all, that chimpanzee was a bit too scary. Besides, at the edge of the square, there are also uniquely shaped armored tanks and rows of soldiers wearing armor and carrying live ammunition. The pitch-black muzzle, facing the overwhelming crowd. The people in the square were suddenly shivering with fear. Sleeping slot, what's the situation? Have aliens invaded? A muscular man in his 20s and 60s beside him couldn't help but curse. Chen Fan couldn't help but take 2 more glances at the man. He remembers the sound. This person should be the one who pulled him up before and woke him up. Why did I appear in such a strange place when I was working overtime at the company? What exactly happened? Why did I come here as soon as I stepped out of the school gate? Here. I'm afraid it's not Earth anymore. Look at those monsters. Those big ants are even bigger than elephants, and they're still spitting fire in their mouths. Have we traveled together? So many people traveled together. Are we all the chosen ones? I want to go home. Woo-woo. People are discussing and looking different. Some people are ecstatic, while others are crying. Some people are expressionless, while others panic and become dogs. But everyone's voices were very suppressed. After all, there are 4 terrifying monsters surrounded, and there are also black gun barrels around. No one dares to make a loud noise in this situation. Chen Fan is the same. At the age of 18, he appears as stable as an old dog on the surface, but in fact, he is also anxious inside. Although he grew up in an orphanage and experienced hardships, he couldn't help but feel drums in the face of such eerie scenes. Suddenly, roar. A chimpanzee over 20 meters tall let out a roar. This sound resounds through the sky. Many people are so shocked that their eardrums ache. The entire square suddenly fell silent. The puppet cat Xiao Bai, who was held by Chen Fan, was also startled and buried his head deeply in Chen Fan's arms. Don't be afraid, I'm here. Chen Fan hurriedly comforted him. At this moment, the woman standing on the shoulder of the chimpanzee nodded in satisfaction, raised her hand, and gently waved her hand. Above the void, a light curtain appears out of thin air. On the screen of light, rows of large Chinese characters slowly appear. People immediately crowded towards the light curtain, wanting to see more clearly. Chen Fan moved forward with the crowd and began to quickly read the text on the light screen. 5 or 6 minutes later, Chen Fan withdrew his gaze. This is not Earth anymore. This is a magical beast world called Blue Star. Since the appearance of 2 moons on the Blue Star over 2,000 years ago, this world has given birth to the Beast Master and Star Warrior. Awakening to become a Beast Master and obtaining the Beast Space qualification allows you to sign contracts with some awakened monsters, fight together with beasts, and grow together. People who cannot awaken to become Beast Masters also have a chance to awaken to become Star Warriors, absorb star power, and practice martial arts. But the Star Warrior is far inferior to the Beast Master. This is the world of beasts. This is the era of beasts. Every year today, 200,000 young men and women are transported to this world by the mist. 200,000 people were randomly selected and dispersed around the world. This is the Jian Square outside the Donghai city of the Tang dynasty. The total number of people in the reception square now is 20,000. Next, these 20,000 people will receive awakening guidance in batches. Through awakening guidance, they may awaken their talents and become beast tamers or star warriors. After the awakening guidance is completed, regardless of whether they are awakened or not, everyone needs to receive cold weapons such as swords and participate in a test, which is stay for 3 days and 3 nights in this wild jungle outside the square. If you can come back alive in 3 days, even if you pass the test. Teaming is allowed, but each team cannot exceed 4 people. Beast Masters and Star Warriors who have passed the test can directly enter the 3 major colleges in Donghai City to learn and train Beast Masters and martial arts. Those who do not have the talent for awakening but pass the test can have a second chance of awakening. Whether it's someone who has been teleported or someone born on a blue star, there are only 2 opportunities to awaken in their lifetime. If, after experiencing the test of life and death, there is still no awakening talent after undergoing a second awakening guidance, so these people need to work as miners in the mines outside Donghai City for 3 years in order to qualify for living in Donghai City. The main cities of various countries on Blue Star follow this rule. What? Even after awakening one's talent, one still needs to participate in this life and death test. The wild jungle trees outside are over 100 feet tall. Who knows what kind of monsters are inside? They only provide us with cold weapons like swords, how can we possibly withstand them? What's the use of giving you a gun? Look at that big ant, do you think an ordinary gun can kill it? And the King Kong. The King Kong in the Skull Island destroyed several fighter planes. Damn it, we also limit the number of team members to 4. If we encounter these 4 terrifying monsters in front of us, even if all 4 of us are carrying rocket launchers, we may not be able to pass. On the square, it started to be noisy again. People are panicked and at a loss. But the massive chimpanzee let out a low roar, and all the noise immediately disappeared without a trace. In this world, rules are made by the strong. It's not easy to live well in this world. No chips, no value, no strength, ultimately nothing but ashes. After being yelled by chimpanzees, many people began to calm down. All right. The woman on the shoulder of the chimpanzee, who was over 20 meters tall, gently waved her hand and said, I believe you probably understand your situation and know where this place is. This is Tang Dynasty, Donghai City. After the awakening guidance is completed, we will send each of you a smart wristwatch worn on your wrist, which is a combination of mobile phones and computers. You can connect to the internet through that device and learn a lot of information you want to know. At this moment, a young man mustered up the courage and asked, after awakening and guiding, can we not participate in this test? After participating in the test, if you still cannot awaken and become a Beast Master and Star Warrior, can you not become a miner? The woman on the chimpanzee's shoulder laughed and said, you can't refuse to participate. If you don't want to participate, kill them on the spot. Kill on the spot. The young man who spoke before was startled. The woman said again, of course, after participating in the test, you can choose not to be a miner. If you don't work as a miner, you won't be able to enter Donghai City to live. You can only live in the wilderness. Well, outside the main city, we collectively refer to it as the wilderness. The world is vast, and if you have the strength, you can go anywhere. But I have to remind you. The wilderness outside the main city is full of danger, with countless extraordinary monsters or alien races. Even powerful beast guards and star warriors are trembling like walking on thin ice. So when it comes to whether to become a miner or not, you need to figure it out for yourself. Alright, let's start queuing now. Prepare to awaken and guide. 50 people form a group and form 3 circles around a lighthouse. Each group's awakening time is only 5 minutes. Let's get started. The woman standing on the shoulder of the chimpanzee did not give people a chance to ask questions again. Teams of soldiers with live ammunition walked over and began to guide people in formation. And to the east of the square, a group of soldiers carried out lighthouse-like objects. 10 lighthouses, each over 3 meters high, emitting a faint blue light. The crowd surged, and many people began to push forward. On the side, the young man with thick and sturdy features pulled at Chen Fan's hem and said, little brother, since everyone has a chance to awaken, don't worry. Let's stand back and observe first. Chen Fan nodded and extended his right hand, saying, Chen Fan. The young man grinned and shook Chen Fan's hand, saying, Wang Teng. Chen Fan. My son Wang Teng has the wealth of a great emperor. This name Chen Fan's face turned strange and he said, Brother Wang, do you usually read novels? Wang Teng was taken aback and said, What are you looking at that thing for? Chen Fan. Okay, this guy may not usually read novels, and because he is very strong and big, most people dare not make such jokes about him, so they have never known about this. Little brother, after awakening and guiding, let's form a team together. Wang Ting glanced at Chen Fan and whispered, then find 2 more people and go into the jungle to challenge him. If we can awaken and become beast masters or star warriors, we can help each other and grow together in the future. Chen Fan nodded slightly and said, Okay. Suddenly, Chen Fan felt as if there was an electric current spreading throughout his body. Activation of the beast control system, 10%, 40%, 70%. The beast control system has been successfully activated. The royal beast space has been successfully opened up. The next moment, boom. In Chen Fan's mind, a strange space was opened up in all directions. That space is about 30 square meters, with white clouds in the sky, green grass on the ground, and a pool of lake water. Oh, it's just a small puddle. Surrounded by gray mist, the space was shrouded in a hazy haze. The most eerie thing is that on each side of these 4 square spaces, there stands a gate that leads to unknown directions. The beast control system. Is this the beast control space? Just as Chen Fan was pleasantly surprised, a system panel slowly rose up in his mind outside the beast control space. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Beast Control System, Little White Awakens. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Beast Control System, Little White Awakens. Is this what the beast space is like? What do the 4 gates in the beast space mean? Is this door for Imperial Beasts to enter and exit? Chen Fan was ecstatic in his heart, but his face remained expressionless, silently examining the system panel outside the beast space. Lines of explanatory text came to mind in his mind. The beast control system allows for the cultivation of monsters, gods, and demons. Everything can be cultivated, and everything is a pet. The host can gain energy by helping the beast grow, whether it is their own beast or not, or by killing monsters. The energy can be used to help the beast evolve and activate other system functions. After the royal beast system is enabled, there is no longer a limit on the number of royal beasts that the host can sign, meaning that you can sign as many royal beasts as you want, as long as you can keep them alive. This system is quite playful. Chen Fan glanced at the energy bar at the bottom of the system panel. The energy bar shows that there are already 20 energy points. There are many cloud-like things above the energy bar, which should be skills that can be activated using energy. I don't know if it's due to insufficient energy that all the clouds haven't been activated, and I can't even see what skills they have. Chen Fan is not in a hurry either. Even if he cannot activate other skills, relying solely on the cultivation and evolution of the beast control system is enough to make him stand tall and dominate the world. Too strong. Surprisingly, it is said that everything is a pet, and even gods and demons can be nurtured. Chen Fan raised his head and looked at the chimpanzee in front of the square. A virtual panel immediately appeared in front of him. Monster name. Wild and Furious Ape, Power Level. Level 10, Elite, Race Level. Medium Extraordinary Monster Attribute. Water Monster Weakness. Earth, Race Skills. Rage Wave, Water Cannon, Sea Blue Shield, Deep Sea Vortex. This skill has not been awakened yet, there is a chance to awaken after upgrading to level 11, Monster State. Irritable Monster Preference. Likes to be quiet, listen to light music, and enjoy being lightly tapped on the shoulder by others, potential level Samsung a breakthrough to level 11 requirement. 100 pounds of devil bananas, 100 pounds of blue raspberries, 500 pounds of milk leaves. 3 days of high-intensity training, 15 energy points. The higher the potential level, the easier the evolution, and the less materials consumed. Usage steps. Race level evolution route. 2 routes. The first is the ordinary evolutionary path, from the wild and furious ape to the stone-skinned demon ape to the iron-skinned demon ape. The materials and methods required for the evolution from moderate to advanced transcendence. The second point is to hide the evolutionary route of mutation, from the wild and furious ape to the 8-armed mad ape to the ancient song ape. The materials and methods required for the evolution from moderate to advanced transcendence. The ordinary evolutionary path is relatively easy, while the hidden mutation evolutionary path can be more difficult. However, the hidden mutation evolutionary path can elevate the race level to the limit, with unlimited potential, and is the optimal evolutionary path selected by the system. Looking at these data, Chen Fan's eyes lit up. The function of the Beast defense system is really too powerful. Not only can it help the Beast increase its combat power level, but it can also increase its race level. Not only can you see the ordinary evolutionary path, but you can also see the more powerful hidden mutation evolutionary path. Isn't that to say that as long as relevant materials can be found and the system provides methods, one can cultivate the most ordinary Imperial Beasts into mythological level Imperial Beasts? Awesome! Against the heavens. Chen Fan almost burst out laughing. He withdrew his gaze and lowered his head to glance at the little white in his arms, suddenly stunned again. Monster name. Puppet Cat Little White, Power Level. Level 1, Just Awakened, Race Level. Lower Awakening Monster Attribute. Thunder Monster Weakness. Fire, Race Skill. Thunderbolt Cat Claw Monster State. Fear Monster Preference. Likes to stay in Chen Fan's arms or shoulders, likes to be lightly stroked by Chen Fan's head. Potential level. 6 stars. The higher the potential level, the easier it is to evolve, and the less materials it consumes. Breakthrough to level 2 requirement. 5 pounds of fresh fish and meat above level 1, 1 crystal nucleus of level 2 fish, 10 points of energy. Usage steps. Evolutionary route. 2. The first is the ordinary evolutionary path, from puppet cat to bloodthirsty cat to starry sky shadow cat. The materials and methods required for the evolution from low-level awakening to moderate awakening. The second step is to hide the evolutionary route of mutation, from puppet cat to phantom thunderbolt cat to purple electric cat emperor to thunderbolt piercing T-Maul emperor. The materials and methods required to evolve from low-level awakening to moderate awakening are 10 pounds of fresh fish at level 2 or above, including level 2, 1 thunder attribute monster crystal nucleus at level 2 or above, 3 fish crystal nuclei at level 2 or above, including level 2, and 40 points of energy. Usage steps. Chen Fan widened his eyes. Has Xiao Bai awakened? Was it awakened after crossing over? Her potential level is even higher than the wild and wild ape in front of her. The potential level of that wild and furious ape is only 3 stars, but she is actually 6 stars. Meow. Seeing Chen Fan staring at her with wide eyes, Xiao Bai lifted his cat paw and gently patted Chen Fan's arm. Chen Fan saw that Xiao Bai was in a state of fear, so he gently rubbed Xiao Bai's little head and comforted her. Xiao Bai immediately closed his eyes and looked very satisfied. His emotions quickly stabilized, and the state on the virtual panel became comfortable. Fish. Level 1 and level 2 fish can help Xiao Bai level up. We need to find a way to get more fish. Because he knew that the hidden mutation evolution route was far stronger than the ordinary evolution route, Chen Fan directly ignored the operation method of the ordinary evolution route of Xiao Bai. He glanced at the jungle outside the square and nodded secretly. There must be rivers in the jungle, so catching fish should not be a problem. I just don't know how strong the attack power of level 1 and level 2 fish is at this point. The time for the first round of awakening guidance has arrived. Waves of exclamation came from the crowd. Chen Fan looked up and saw the people sitting around the lighthouse, some of whom were twinkling with starlight, and a sparkling six-pointed star formation appeared in front of them. There were also twinkling stars all over their bodies, but there was no six-pointed star formation in front of them. Most people. There is no abnormality around them. Silence. A young man wearing armor loudly explained 2 sentences. Everyone gained a lot of information from his commentary. Chen Fan was also lost in thought originally. The person who appeared in front of him with a six-pointed star formation and twinkled with starlight was awakened to the talent of beasts and star warriors. And those who twinkle with starlight all over their bodies, but do not have a six-pointed star formation, are only awakened to the talent of star warriors. There is a huge difference in potential between a beast tamer and a star warrior. Because the beast master himself also possesses the talent of a star warrior. Both sides are practicing star power. Star warriors can only use star power to harden their bodies and use star power to stimulate their martial arts or techniques. The beast master can also use star power to harden the body and use star power to stimulate martial arts and techniques. However, the Beast Master can also sign a contract with the Beast Master to directly obtain the power of the Beast Master, and grow and fight together with the Beast Master. Star Warriors and Beast Tamers of the same rank, unless in special circumstances, are basically crushed by Beast Tamers. How could a Star Warrior of the same rank fight against a woman on the shoulder of a wild and raging ape, carrying such a large Imperial Beast? They don't even need to act on their own. That wild ape can crush the Star Warrior Sunday directly. And who can be sure how many royal beasts she has? If another group of gorillas were summoned, one by one taking turns attacking you. Oh no, can you hold on? In this blue star, the position of the beast tamer is much higher than imagined. However, the proportion of awakening seems too low. 500 people are divided into 10 groups for awakening guidance, but only 52 people have awakened the talent of beast defense. Only 1/10, and there are quite a few awakened star warriors, with a total of 105 out of 500 awakened star warriors, accounting for over 1/5 of them. According to this ratio, it is estimated that around 2,000 out of these 20,000 people will become beast guards, and over 4,000 will become star warriors. However, the remaining individuals still have a chance to awaken in 3 days. I don't know how many people will eventually awaken. Chen Fan averted his gaze and scanned the other 3 Imperial Beasts around him. The other 3 Imperial Beasts have a combat power level of 10 and a race level of medium extraordinary. However, the potential level is 1 star lower than that of the Wild Fury Ape, only 2 stars. If we only look at the potential level, Xiao Bai can almost crush them. At this moment, the awakened people cheered and, guided by a group of soldiers, went to the other side to test the talents of the Beast and Star Warrior. And those who have not awakened, one by one, are disheartened and their faces are very ugly. Wang Ting couldn't help but sigh and said, "Those who can awaken are all the proud sons of heaven. There will be another chance in 3 days, but if the second awakening guidance after 3 days still hasn't awakened, then we can only go and become minors. Even if it's time traveling, in the future, I can only be an ordinary person and live at the bottom. Ah, I really wish I could awaken the Beast Master too. I don't want to travel through time and still be ordinary." The person next to him said, "The miner's story will come later. Whether he can survive these 3 days is a question. Who knows what kind of monster is in that jungle?" The emotions of many people around have become incredibly heavy. Chen Fan didn't speak, his face was relatively calm. Apart from growing up in an orphanage, fighting wild dogs countless times, and seeing big storms, the main reason is he already knows he's a cheater. 1.5 hours later. Wang Ting gently pushed Chen Fan and said, "Brother Chen Fan, it's almost our turn." Chen Fan nodded. A lighthouse has 50 people, and 10 lighthouses are carried out simultaneously. A single awakening guide is 500 people. Once every 5 minutes, there are only about 3,000 people left now. In no time, the queue of Chen Fan and Wang Teng began to move, and a group of people sat cross-legged around a lighthouse under the guidance of a group of soldiers. As soon as Chen Fan sat down, he couldn't help but take a deep breath. Under the light of the lighthouse, he felt like the winter sunshine shining on him. With a warm feeling, Chen Fan closed his eyes and clearly felt a strange energy escaping from the lighthouse, disappearing into his mind. But in the beast control space, it seemed like only a gust of wind blew by, and then there was no more movement. In 5 minutes a group of people stood up with different expressions. Chen Fan looked around him. There was no abnormality. On the other side of the circle, Wang Ting shook his arms and shouted, I have awakened my talent as a star warrior. I am a star warrior now. Ha ha ha. A young girl next to her who had awakened her talent as a beast tamer burst into tears of joy and sobbed out loud. Other people without awakening talents lowered their heads and silently walked to the side. At this moment, the square has been divided into 3 groups of people. A group of people are those who have awakened their talents, a group of people who have been awakened and guided, but have not yet unleashed their talents. The last group of people are the last to wait for awakening guidance. No one deliberately separates these people, but people's self-awareness makes the line very clear. From then on, perhaps these are people from 2 different worlds. Reality is so cruel. Chen Fan smiled and prepared to step forward to congratulate Wang Teng. But after Wang Ting glanced at him, he walked directly to the girl and said, "Little sister, I have awakened my talent as a star warrior, and you have awakened your talent as an Imperial Beast master. Shall we team up together later? Although you have awakened your talent as a beast tamer, you still don't have a beast tamer and your strength is not strong. I can protect you." Speaking, Wang Ting rolled up his sleeves, revealing his well-developed biceps. "Okay." The girl nodded. Wang Ting's face lit up with joy. Without even looking at Chen Fan, he walked towards the group of people who had already awakened their talents and went to find other teammates. And the girl, after taking a glance at Chen Fan, obediently followed behind Wang Ting. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. How could I enter my own beast control space? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. How could I enter my own beast control space? Chen Fan burst into laughter in silence. Wang Teng, who has awakened his talent as a star warrior, does not have the obligation to protect or take care of him as an unawakened person, but do you want to be so realistic? Previously, you said you wanted to team up with me and help each other, but now that you become a star warrior, you don't even look at me directly. Chen Fan smiled and shook his head, then turned around and walked into the unawakened crowd. He doesn't mind letting others know he's awakened, it's just that his way of awakening is a bit strange. He awakened before he even started guiding him, and there was no abnormality around him. Let's check the information later. Anyway, there is still a second chance to awaken, and it's not too late to wake up again in 3 days. These days, it is necessary to use the system to help the novice improve their combat power level, and it will definitely be inconvenient to team up with people. So Chen Fan stood directly among the unawakened crowd. It's okay, little brother. In 3 days, we still have a second chance to awaken. A young man wearing glasses gently patted Chen Fan's shoulder and comforted him. Chen Fan politely smiled at him. A few minutes later, teams of soldiers came over and began distributing smart watches. As the woman on the shoulder of the wild and furious ape said, this smartwatch is a combination of a mobile phone and a computer. Surprisingly, there is also WeChat on top. After Chen Fan put on the smartwatch, turn it on. A virtual image resembling a computer interface immediately appeared in front of him. Chen Fan's fingers lightly touched the virtual computer interface, just like operating a tablet. After exploring for a while, he quickly became familiar with the operation of the computer on his wrist and found an officially certified beast forum. The first post to reach the top on the forum was about hand-drawn images of Yubeast space. Chen Fan moved his finger and clicked on the post. But as soon as it opened, Chen Fan was stunned. In the post, all the attributes of the beast control space are different from his. In those pictures, all the animal control spaces are gray, with no blue sky or white clouds, only the central position is colored. The beast control space with water attributes is centered in a light blue ocean-like color. The beast control space with fire attributes has a fiery red color in the middle. There is no blue sky, no white clouds. No grass, no door. What's going on? Chen Fan suppressed the shock and annoyance in his heart and began to carefully examine the system interface again. On this inspection, he almost jumped up. I saw two very small lines of text and buttons in the bottom left corner of the system interface. The text says the host wants to enter the beast control space, please press enter. The host wants to leave the beast control space, please press exit. Below the text, there are two buttons, one with in written on it and the other with out written on it. Both the text and buttons are pitifully small. If it weren't for Chen Fan discovering something strange and carefully checking the system again, he might not have noticed it. Your grandfather's system such an important function, hidden in such an inconspicuous corner. And the font is so small. Isn't this intentional deceit? Wait. Can I enter my own beast control space? Can all animal masters enter their own animal control space? Chen Fan opened the Beast Master forum, prepared to register an account, and then asked some questions about the Beast Master space. Please enter your nickname. The first handsome blue star. The nickname has been registered. What kind of thing? What shameless thing got on first? The first commander of the Tang dynasty. The nickname has been registered. The first commander of Donghai City. The nickname has been registered. Shit, it's too annoying. What should I do if I'm too handsome? The nickname has been registered. What should I do if I wake up handsome every day? The nickname has been registered. I have nothing but handsomeness. The nickname has been registered. Isn't he too shameless? Are these beast guards too shameless? Chen Fan furrowed his brows, pondered for a moment, and then entered a nickname. Blue Star's first handsome father. Registration successful. Chen Fan breathed a sigh of relief. Just registering an account on the Beast Master forum allowed him to see clearly the darkness and ugliness of this world. There are too many shameless people here. Chen Fan opened the forum and sent a post asking, Old Ties, can the Beast Master enter his own beast space? In a short while, a large number of replies appeared under the post. The Beast Control Space is a place where the Beast Control Master enters his own Beast Control Space to allow the Beast Control Master to sleep and meditate. Are you thinking about farting? It has been over 2,000 years since the first Beast Tamer appeared on this land. How could anyone still ask such foolish questions? At first glance, it appears to be a cloud player, probably not even a Beast Control Space yet. You see, the registration date is today, so it should be out of town, who just arrived. What's wrong? You discriminate against us out of town people upstairs. Your father is not from out of town. If your father is not, your grandfather is not from out of town. Can you be sure when the teleportation fog started? I have every reason to believe that the first beast tamer in Blue Star's history was from out of town. What's the noise upstairs? It's just a joke to say, out of town, and local. After so many years, how can we still distinguish between out of town and local? I came here 30 years ago, and now my son is getting married. Do you think my son is from another city or from a local place? Don't tilt the building, let's continue with the strange question asked by the landlord. Landlord, do you want to build your own cage to support yourself? If you can enter your own animal control space, what other house should I buy? In fact, it's not just the owner who has this kind of idea. Think about it, when you encounter a strong enemy, you can quickly enter your own space, and the strong enemy immediately becomes confused. It's an invincible skill, but it may take you a lifetime to awaken. Wait slowly. Sometimes it's not fair to think about it. When in the wild, our beasts can enter the beast space to rest, while we have to eat and sleep outdoors. How good would it be if we could really enter our own beast space? The latest one is posted by an ID named Invisible Saw. Master, why do you ask such a strange question? Do you think you can freely enter and exit your beast control space? If you want to be so awesome, I will swallow feces and commit suicide. Chen Fan replied under the last sentence, no eating or drinking. Invisible Saw suddenly became angry and said, Kid, you talk like this and get beaten up a lot, don't you? Chen Fan said, you're really accurate. Usually, you get beaten 3 times a day. Invisible Saw gave a furious expression. Chen Fan. Your expression is like suddenly realizing that 2 beautiful women living together are standing with you to pee. Invisible Saw. Report your name and address, I'll go find you. Chen Fan said, as the saying goes, a blade of grass on the ground is like a treasure. Invisible Saw. What does it mean? Chen Fan said, it's not very interesting. It's just that suddenly poetry becomes popular and I can't help but recite poetry. Invisible Saw. If you're a man, just give your name and address. I'll have to knock you out of the sky today. Chen Fan was too lazy to answer the question, and then sent a new post. How much do you know about the evolution of the beast? End of this chapter. Chapter 4. The Evolutionary Root of Beast Control. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. The Evolutionary Root of Beast Control. The post was just posted, and soon there were a bunch of replies. We have been studying the evolutionary path of the Yubeast for 2,000 years, and now it can be considered a remarkable achievement. You can find many evolution paths of the Yubeast on the Yubeast forum, and you can do it yourself. There are too many types of monsters, and all mountains, rivers, plants, and wild beasts can evolve. Every year, a bunch of monsters that have not been seen before come out of the space gate. It is impossible to know the evolution path of all the monsters, but we have been working hard. What you said upstairs is correct. Even a professional beast nurturing master cannot claim to know the evolutionary path of all the beasts. Anyway, after years of studying royal beasts, humans have achieved many results. For many known royal beasts, we have basically found 1 or 2 evolutionary paths. The evolution path of all beasts is closely related to the beast control space. In the beast control space, the probability of beasts breaking through the race level is higher, which is also the reason why many intelligent monsters are willing to sign contracts with humans now. Even if you know 1 or 2 evolutionary paths, it's extremely difficult to help the beast evolve its race level. Yes, the combat power level is relatively easy, but the race level is too difficult. It depends on opportunities, but opportunities are hard to come by. The latest reply seems to be an advertisement. Does the owner want to cultivate their own beast? Come to our Fool You Beast cultivation studio. The price is fair, and we are fair to everyone. If you produce the materials yourself, it only takes 150,000 Alliance coins to upgrade the combat power level of the Imperial Beast within level 5. Our address is. Chen Fan is furious. Why do you even say, I fooled you yourself, treating me as an idiot? But soon, the person posted another message. The previous one was typed incorrectly. It was protecting your beast studio, not deceiving your beast studio, this bastard input method. Is it really an input method problem? Chen Fan sneered. However, the price quoted by the Foolish Beast Cultivation Studio has given him a rough understanding of the current market for nurturing and controlling beasts. Produce your own materials, increase the combat power level of royal beasts within level 5 by 1, 150,000 alliance coins. Chen Fan opened Xiandu and searched for housing prices in Donghai City. Discovered a 100 square meter house in Donghai City, priced at around 900,000 alliance coins. The inner city is the most expensive, while the outer city is cheaper. So, with the addition of materials, increasing the combat power level of the Imperial Beast to level may 5th not be enough for a single house in the inner city of Donghai City. This is simply robbing money. Is the animal breeding studio making money like this? Chen Fan suppressed the impulse in his heart, and after reviewing the replies one by one, he entered "Evolution root of puppet cat" in the forum search box. The posts posted by several professional animal breeding masters immediately became apparent: the evolutionary path of the awakened puppet cat. Puppet cat, bloodthirsty cat, starry shadow cat. There is also a seemingly certified evaluation from a breeding master. This is the optimal evolutionary path for awakened puppets. Chen Fan couldn't help but pause for a moment and said, "It's gone. The optimal evolutionary path." Looking at this evolutionary path, the puppet cat has evolved to the end, which is the starry sky shadow cat. This evolutionary path is the same as the regular evolutionary path displayed on the system. But on my own system panel, there is also a hidden mutation evolution route, which is obviously much stronger than the ordinary evolution route. Moreover, on the system panel, Xiaobai's hidden mutation evolution route is an ellipsis at the end, clearly able to break through to higher levels. But the ordinary evolutionary path came to an abrupt end when it reached the starry sky shadow cat. Chen Fan also entered Wild and Furious Ape evolution route in the forum search box. The evolutionary path of the Wild Fury Ape. Wild Fury Ape, Stone Skin Demon Ape, Iron Skin Demon Ape. Sure enough, the ordinary evolutionary path provided by the system is basically consistent with the evolutionary path searched on the forum. But according to the explanation on the forum, this wild and wild ape has and only has this evolutionary path. And the system also provides a hidden mutation evolution route that can allow the wild and furious ape to break through to above the ancient Cang ape. Two evolutionary paths, a world of difference. Chen Fan took a deep breath and once again suppressed the shock and ecstasy in his heart. He opened 2 pages and entered Combat Power Level and Race Level, respectively. The level of Beast Defense is divided into Combat Power Level and Race Level. Power Level 1.5, Normal, 6.10, Elite, 11.15, Leader, 16.20, General, 21.25, Commander Level, 26.30, King Level, 31.35, Overlord Level, 36.40, Emperor Level, 41.45, Dominator Level, Race Level. Awakening, Extraordinary, Lord, King, Legend, Epic, Myth. 7 racial levels, each divided into low, medium, and high levels. The level of combat power is the strength level of the beast, based on star power, and is only a rough judgment of the beast's combat power. The race level represents the innate advantage and development potential of the beast, determining the upper limit of the beast's combat power level. However, the upper limit is not insurmountable. Once the upper limit is broken, it is possible to awaken more powerful talents and abilities. The same level of combat power only means that the star power is on the same level, and it does not mean that the strength of the Imperial Beast is completely consistent, because we also need to consider the race level. Beasts with the same level of combat power indicate the same star power, but the higher the race level, the stronger it will be. Star power is the main power of the beast, but not the entire power. In addition to star power, the Imperial Beast also has the power brought by its race. For example, rabbits and elephants with a combat power level of level 5 have the same star power, but elephants have a much stronger race level than rabbits and have innate advantages. Elephants themselves have a huge body and strong power. So even if the combat power level is the same and the star power is the same, elephants still have the possibility of crushing rabbits with the same combat power level. Until the level of rabbits and elephants reaches a certain level, their star power far exceeds the power brought by their races, and the strength of both sides will continue to draw closer. The cultivation levels of Star Warrior and Beast Master are both level 1 to level 9, there are also levels above level 9, but ordinary people are not familiar with it, and each level is divided into 5 levels of heaven. Star Warriors and Beast Guards, star power is also an important part of measuring strength, but it is not the whole. Because it also requires opening the pulse and opening the orifices. A Star Warrior or Beast Master who has just started practicing needs to open up 8 main veins and at least 70.2 branch veins after reaching the standard star power, and then forge a star seed to break through to the first level realm. After reaching the standard of star power, a Star Warrior or Beast Tamer in the first level realm needs to clear the 9 orifices in order to ultimately break through the limit of the first level and reach the second level realm. The cultivation of Beast Masters and Star Warriors is relatively more complex than that of Beasts. In the world of Beasts, the development potential of Beasts Masters is far stronger than that of Star Warriors. In addition to being able to sign multiple beasts, the growth of beasts can also feed back the strength of Beasts Masters, allowing them to grow faster. After silently recording this information, Chen Fan glanced at the 4 Imperial Beasts around the square. The 4 Imperial Beasts, including the wild and furious ape, have reached a combat power level of 10 and belong to the elite level. And their racial level is average extraordinary. Both in terms of combat power level and race level, they far surpass the current novice. But Chen Fan believes that if he can collect the necessary materials, it is only a matter of time before Xiao Bai can surpass these 4 powerful beasts. But that's all for now. We need money, we need time. Finding a way to elevate Xiao Bai's strength to level 2 is the top priority. Otherwise, the 3 days of jungle assessment would be extremely dangerous. With this in mind, Chen Fan opened the 1000 Degrees map. Then I entered Tang Dynasty Donghai City Jian Square on the map. A large map immediately appeared in front of him. On the map, there is also an introduction to the access square and the surrounding jungle. The jungle around Jian Square is called Black Ant Forest. There are multiple iron ore veins in the Black Ant Forest, and many first to second level iron-eating black ants and scarab beetles live inside. Chen Fan moved his 2 fingers and enlarged the map. Zoom in. Zoom in again, found it. There is a river called Qinqing River in the Black Ant Forest. The Qinqing River twists and turns from west to east, running through the entire jungle. Because there are countless blue scale demon fish living in it, and the scales of those blue scale demon fish are all precious blue, shining like sparkling stars under the sunlight, people call this river Qinqing River. There are many blue scale monster fish in the Qinqing River, mainly at levels 1 to 3. They are violent and aggressive, making them the most dangerous place in the Black Ant Forest. The reason why it is said to be the most dangerous is because the iron-eating black ants and scarab beetles in the Black Ant Forest are basically only at level 1 and level 2, although they are relatively large in number, their threat is not high. And many level 3 blue scale demon fish in the Sinking Star River spray water guns with extremely strong power, which are enough to make a blood hole in the body of an ordinary adult at close range. So on the map, there are red warning letters on the banks of the Sinking Star River. Chen Fan frowned. Are fish with a combat power level of level 3 so terrifying? It seems you need to be careful. No, for him and Xiao Bai, who have not yet truly started practicing, level 2 is probably very dangerous. In the Black Ant Forest, there are mainly iron-eating black ants and scarab beetles at levels 1.2, but looking at the information on the big screen, if ordinary people don't form teams, entering it is also very dangerous. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. The Golden Age of Beasts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. The Golden Age of Beasts. Realizing the danger level of the Sinking Star River, Chen Fan was also a bit depressed. This fish is not so easy to catch. When I was a child, whether it was catching fish in the fields or in the rivers, it was full of fun. I never imagined catching fish on this blue star and risking being beaten into a sieve. Fortunately, Xiao Bai has awakened. Moreover, Xiao Bai is a thunder attribute beast, and the attack power of thunder attributes should be very strong. First, take a walk by the river and look for any rice paddies, wetlands, or puddles. Those places usually have fish, and they are obviously much safer than Qinqing River. In addition, the system can check the monster level. If I see a blue scale monster fish at level 3, can I still walk around? Chen Fan made a plan in his heart and nodded secretly. The fish in the sinking star river can help Xiao Bai improve his combat power level and race level. Even if that level 3 blue scale monster fish is very dangerous, he will definitely try to break through it. After reviewing the information about the sunken star river and the black ant forest, Chen Fan began to browse through other information about the blue star. A day over 2,000 years ago. After the sun set, it did not rise the next day. 2 moons appeared in the sky. The entire blue star was in panic, thinking it was the end of the world. Until the 3rd day, the sun slowly rose again. But in the sky of the blue star, countless pitch-black cracks appeared. The cracks scattered throughout the sky are mysterious spatial gates, connecting various strange and bizarre worlds. Some space doors are filled with turbulence nearby, which is extremely dangerous. Whether it is humans or machinery, if they touch the turbulence, they will be stirred into pieces. Some space gates, however, eventually stabilized and countless creatures with extraordinary powers emerged from within, wreaking havoc on the human world, causing Blue Star to once again enter panic. Strange forces flooded into the Blue Star from the space gates, and the Blue Star began to undergo a transformation. Like transformation on the one hand, animals and plants are beginning to grow and mutate wildly. Mountains, rivers, plants, and trees can evolve into essence, and antique swords can also breed spirits. Every living organism has the possibility of extraordinary evolution. And the awakened creatures have all mastered powerful powers, such as wind, rain, lightning, flames, hurricanes. Just like the mythical beasts in Earth mythology, they pose a huge threat to humanity. On the other hand, humans have also awakened their bloodline power and extraordinary power. Bloodline power is a power hidden deep within the bloodline of the human soul. Many people can open up a different space in their minds through meditation, which is used to communicate and cultivate extraordinary creatures, so it is also called beast power. Extraordinary power, known as star power, by people, is a power that humans possess after the emergence of strange forces within the space gate. People who awaken their star power may not necessarily awaken their beast power. But those who awaken the power of the beast will surely awaken their star power. People refer to those who can only use star power for cultivation as star warriors. People who possess both star power and beast control power are called beast control masters. Although star warriors can also cultivate to great power, the vast majority of them are just companions of beast guards. Because the beast master has changed the entire world. After countless extraordinary monsters appeared on the blue star, human living space was greatly compressed and faced a huge crisis. But the emergence of the beast master changed this situation. After the mutation, monsters spread throughout the entire blue star, posing a great threat to humanity. Not to mention the cold weapons of 2,000 years ago, even modern firearms can only work against weaker monsters and are difficult to threaten those powerful ones. Human beings are almost pushed to the brink of extinction, only able to retreat and protect themselves in a corner. Until the Beast Master appeared. The Beast Master has signed contracts with many monsters, providing humans with powerful helpers and reversing the situation of humans being oppressed by monsters. Monster is actually a general term whether from other worlds or variations in blue star flora and fauna. All extraordinary creatures outside of humans are referred to as monsters by people. Awakening birds and beasts, various mutated plants, the ancient swords give birth to spirits, the awakened flame elves of the lava land, water spirits born in some lakes, even including goblins crawling out of some cracks. These monsters can all sign contracts with the beast tamer, become companions of the beast tamer, and become beast's tamer. Beast and beast master can mutually promote and grow together. At the beginning, humans only capture small and extraordinary monsters, or hatch some monster eggs, and then sign contracts with them. But after many years, both humans and extraordinary monsters have discovered that extraordinary monsters grow very fast in the beast control space, almost several times faster than they do in the outside world. Moreover, in the beast control space, beasts can more easily break through racial limitations and achieve unimaginable extraordinary evolution. Many extraordinary monsters who have awakened their advanced intelligence have begun to actively seek contracts with humans, hoping to use human-beast control space to quickly grow and break through the limitations of combat power and race. That's it. The powerful beast guards, leading the powerful beast guards, have shown humanity the hope of rising. Many years later, the whole world will return to human dominance. The powerful beast tamers and star warriors joined forces to build one main city after another, resisting the invasion of terrifying monsters and alien races. After a few more years, humanity has established a brilliant animal civilization, and then left the main city to explore the world behind one space door after another. Blue Star, World of Beasts, Golden Age. I have a general understanding. It's really exciting. Chen Fan lifted his head and looked at the sky. Looking east from the square, there are 7 cracks scattered in the distant sky. Is there actually 7 space gates near Donghai City? How many stable spaces are there among them that can allow humans to explore? Chen Fan blinked and did not dwell on the issue of the crack. Anyway, his current strength is definitely not qualified to enter that kind of secret realm exploration. The Black Ant Forest, which is home to a large number of first and second level iron-eating black ants and scarab beetles, is now full of danger for him. Chen Fan slowly slid his fingers and continued to read the information on the Beast Forum. At this moment, teams of soldiers came over, guiding everyone to start queuing again and then collect weapons. At the edge of the square, there are rows of weapon racks. On the weapon rack, there are all cold weapons. Knives, spears, swords, halberds, hammers, shields, axes, spears. Chen Fan's gaze quickly swept over the weapon rack, picking up a harpoon and a dagger. 1 inch long, 1 inch strong. Harpoons are very convenient whether used to spear fish or deal with other monsters. Knives and swords are quite cool, but he hasn't started practicing yet. He doesn't have star power or sword skills, and even if he takes them, he will blindly chop and stab, far less practical than a harpoon. As for the dagger, Chen Fan was purely preparing for slaughtering fish. Afterwards, Chen Fan lined up with everyone again and received a small bag of food and water. The food is 3 pieces of palm-sized bread, a chicken leg, and a bottle of water. Everyone looked at the little bit of food and also complained, but there were a few terrifying beasts such as the wild and furious ape present, and no one dared to shout loudly. All right. The woman on the shoulder of the wild and furious ape patted her palm and said loudly, "The sun has risen, and now I'm going to leave with my team. You find someone to form your own team and prepare to enter the Black Ant Forest. In the Black Ant Forest, we use a safe house made of deep-sea refined steel, which can resist monster attacks. You can enter the safe house at night, but you must leave after dawn. Additionally, the number of safe houses is limited. At night, many of you may have to camp in the wilderness." Completely ignoring people's complaints and noise, the woman waved her arm and led the team away. As soon as they left, the square immediately exploded. The people were making a lot of noise, forming teams, and becoming a mess. In people's eyes, Chen Fan has no awakening talent and his body is relatively thin, so no one is looking for him to form a team. The young man with glasses wanted to greet Chen Fan, but was pulled away by his companion. Chen Fan didn't mind either. Riding through the chaos, he carried a harpoon and plunged into the jungle, heading towards the sunken Star River marked on the map. Let's stay away from the crowd for now. Find a deserted place and see if you can sign a contract with Xiao Bai. I can't wait anymore. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Signing the contract, first training. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Signing the contract, first training. The Black Ant Forest covers an area of over 80 miles. As soon as 20,000 people entered, it was like a handful of sand falling into the lake, and soon disappeared without a trace. Chen Fan held Xiao Bai in one hand and a harpoon in the other, walking briskly in the forest. After walking 3 or 4 miles out of the ground, he stopped and found a clearing in the woods, then let Xiao Bai down. The route he chose is the safer route marked on the 1000 degrees map. So along the way, I never encountered an iron-eating black ant. Xiao Bai lay on the ground and looked up at Chen Fan, his 2 big eyes flickering and shining like 2 sapphires. Chen Fan opened the Royal Beast forum and, following the prompts on the forum, squinted his eyes slightly, gathered his spirit and communicated with his Royal Beast space. Under his and Xiao Bai's feet and above their heads, there appeared a shimmering and colorful 6-pointed star formation. 2 6-pointed star formations, 1 person and 1 cat, sandwiched in the middle. The steps for signing a contract with Yubeast on the Yubeast forum are quite complex and require a lot of tinkering. But as soon as these 2 6-pointed star formations were activated, a prompt popped up from the Beast Control System. The Beast Control Space is open. May I ask if you have signed a contract with the puppet cat Little White? Chen Fan was overjoyed and said, can the system directly sign a contract with the beast? Then there's no need for complicated operations later on. Without hesitation, he clicked yes. With a click of yes, Chen Fan's left index finger immediately felt pain and a drop of blood overflowed. The drop of blood flew out of his index finger and fell into the 6-pointed star formation under his feet. The 6-pointed star formation immediately began to slowly operate, using blood as a guide and formation as a bond. Take my blood as a covenant, and enter into an eternal and immortal blood contract. A voice rang out in Chen Fan's mind. Chen Fan's drop of blood fell into the magic formation under his feet. The 2 6-pointed star formations quickly rotated and flickered with a golden light, condensing into a white paper burning with golden flames in the air, appearing between Chen Fan and Xiao Bai. The paper was covered in blood-red text, which was very strange. But both Chen Fan and Xiao Bai instantly understood the content on it. The next moment in Chen Fan's mind, suddenly a series of voices sounded like little girls whispering. I really want to eat that chicken leg. When can the master give me that chicken leg? No, let him eat. This forest seems very dangerous. If he doesn't eat enough, what will he do when encountering monsters? I really want to eat fish. I don't know why, but I feel like I can grow bigger in the future, just like that big fire-breathing ant. If I could grow that big, I would be able to carry my master without him being so tired. Is this Xiao Bai's idea? Can I hear Xiao Bai's thoughts? No wonder the Beast Master can cooperate seamlessly with the Beast Master. It turns out that they can exchange ideas with each other. Chen Fan's expression moved slightly as he handed his recitation hair over and said, Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai was taken aback and said, What are you doing? Xiao Bai. Chen Fan squatted down and continued, we used to rely on each other for survival, but now we have come together to this strange world. In the future, we must rely on each other and help each other even more. I want to sign a blood contract with you. Would you be willing to become my partner? Xiao Bai blinked, nodded, and lifted his paw, lightly pressing on the paper burning with golden flames. The paper instantly burned into ashes, turning into countless starlight dots and merging into the void. At this moment, Chen Fan felt that his and Xiao Bai's souls were connected together. It's a strange and warm feeling. Immediately a virtual panel emerged in the beast control space. Royal Beast name. Puppet Cat Little White, power level. Level 1, just awakened, race level. Lower Awakening Royal Beast Attribute. Thunder Weakness of Beast Control. Fire, Race Skill. Thunderbolt Cat Claw Plus, consumes system energy, can improve proficiency in beast defense skills, beast control status. Happy Beast Preference. Likes to stay in Chen Fan's arms or shoulders, likes to be lightly stroked by Chen Fan's head, potential level. 6 stars of breakthrough to level 2 requirement. 5 pounds of fresh fish and meat above level 1, 1 crystal nucleus of level 2 fish, 10 points of energy. Usage steps. The first is the ordinary evolutionary path, from puppet cat to bloodthirsty cat to starry sky shadow cat, the materials and methods required for the evolution from low-level awakening to moderate awakening. The second step is to hide the evolutionary root of mutation, from puppet cat to phantom thunderbolt cat to purple electric cat emperor to thunderbolt piercing T-Maul emperor. The materials and methods required to evolve from low-level awakening to moderate awakening are 10 pounds of fresh fish at level 2 or above, including level 2, 1 monster crystal nucleus with thunder attribute at level 2 or above, and 3 fish crystal nuclei at level 2 or above, including level 2. Usage steps. Looking at this panel, Chen Fan felt lost in thought. After Xiao Bai became his beast, there were some changes in this virtual panel. The word monster has changed to beast, virtual panel, fixed in the beast space. After Xiao Bai's skill, there is an additional plus sign indicating that it can consume system energy to improve skill proficiency. Below the words, Thunderbolt Cat Claw, there is an additional experience bar-like item. This is the proficiency level of Little White's skill. When Chen Fan was checking, an explanation also surfaced. The proficiency of the beast skills can be improved by using energy or through repeated training. A skill with higher proficiency, accuracy, speed, and power will become stronger. Chen Fan took a closer look and saw that Xiao Bai's proficiency in Thunderbolt Cat Claw was only 1. The highest proficiency level is 100, and 100 on the experience bar is full. That is to say, purely using system energy to improve novice skill proficiency requires 100 points of energy. Chen Fan doesn't mind using energy directly to help Xiao Bai improve his proficiency in Thunderbolt Cat Claw to the limit. The problem is that the system currently only has 20 points of energy. At this moment Chen Fan felt a strange force transmitting from Xiao Bai to himself. Boom! Chen Fan's body shook lightly, and his joints made a crackling sound. After signing the contract, the power of the Imperial Beast is feeding back to the Imperial Beast Master. Chen Fan felt a surge of enlightenment in his heart and lightly clenched his fists with both hands. Previously, he had consulted a large amount of information about beasts and knew that beast trainers and beasts mutually promote and grow together. The Beast Master's beast space contains the power of the Beast Master's bloodline and soul, which can help the Beast Master grow and break through quickly, and every time the combat power level and race level of the Imperial Beast are increased, it will also feed back the star power of the Imperial Beast Master, allowing the star power of the Imperial Beast Master to be greatly increased. After all, Xiao Bai has just awakened and is only at level 1. The power of this backfeeding doesn't seem too strong. But Chen Fan can still feel that his strength has increased significantly in an instant. He could clearly feel a strange force flowing rapidly through his limbs and body. This is Xingli. Chen Fan walked up to a large stone covered in moss, took a deep breath, and then slapped it heavily with his palm. Boom! The big stone shook with a loud bang, and around the spot where Chen Fan's palm fell, cracks like spider webs cracked in all directions. Chen Fan looked at his palm, his eyes full of disbelief. Previously, he thought that Xiao Bai was only at level 1, so the power of backfeeding to him was not too strong. Unexpectedly, with such a palm strike, the big stone almost split into pieces. Such power, even if he takes a big hammer and tries his best to smash it before crossing the river, he may not be able to do it. Moreover, this is still a situation where he does not know how to use star power. If you learn how to activate star power, then the power of this palm may have to be greatly increased. Chen Fan gratefully rubbed Xiaobai's head and said, "Xiaobai, thank you. My strength has greatly increased, and I can also feel the flow of star power in my body." Xiaobai squinted his eyes in pleasure and gently patted Chen Fan's arm with his small paws. Chen Fan smiled and pointed to a small tree 5 meters ahead, saying, "Xiaobai, use your Thunderbolt cat claw to attack that small tree." Xiaobai widened his eyes and looked at Chen Fan, then at the small tree. Then, he gently waved his small paw. There was no movement. "It's just a regular wave of claws." Chen Fan scratched his head and said, "It's not like waving his little paw like this. Can you concentrate and think about it? Do you know a skill called Thunderbolt Cat Claw? Claws can release the power of lightning." Xiaobai looked at Chen Fan, then at the small tree, and then gathered his breath before suddenly waving his paw. There is still no movement. Chen Fan opened his mouth and hesitated to speak. "By the way, after the system is turned on, there will be 20 energy points. First, use some energy to help the novice improve their skill proficiency." Chen Fan gathered his spirit and clicked the plus sign after the Thunderbolt Cat Claw on the virtual panel. Consumed 1 point of energy, helped the novice improve their proficiency by 1 point. Consumed 5 points of energy, helped the novice improve their proficiency by 5 points. After helping Xiaobai add 10 points to Thunderbolt Cat Claw, his proficiency in Thunderbolt Cat Claw reached 11. On the energy bar, there are still 10 points of energy left. Chen Fan is not sure how difficult it will be to obtain energy later, so he has reserved 10 points of energy. Because after catching the fish, it is necessary to use 10 points of energy to help Xiaobai upgrade from level 1 to level 2. Chen Fan stopped and said to Xiaobai, "Xiaobai, try again and use Thunderbolt Cat Claw to attack that small tree. You must concentrate and believe in yourself." Xiaobai looked at his small paw and then at the small tree. With a gentle wave of his paw, pop. A lightning-transformed cat claw flew out of thin air, brushing past the edge of the small tree and hitting a large tree 7 meters away, creating a charred pit in the tree. Meow, afraid. Little Bai didn't expect himself to be so powerful, so he was startled and jumped directly into Chen Fan's arms. "Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. This is your skill, Xiaobai. You are very impressive." Chen Fan was both surprised and delighted. The power of lightning is truly powerful. Not only is it fast, but it also has high destructive power. Chen Fan ran over with Xiaobai in his arms and took a look. The hole on the big tree is almost enough to fit his fist in. If this hits someone, is the attack power of a novice with only level 1 combat power so terrifying. However, speaking of which, the small tree is only 5 meters away, and it seems that the accuracy is a bit off. "Come on, Xiaobai, practice a few more times and you'll become familiar with this skill." Chen Fan held Xiaobai and returned to his original place, gesturing for him to continue attacking the small tree 2 meters away. This time, Xiaobai became much more proficient. His 2 little paws moved left and right, and with each swing of his paws, a lightning-transformed cat paw flashed out at an incredibly fast speed. Just 9 lightning cat claws flew over the edge of that small tree. Not a single hit. Meow meow, am I really bad? Xiaobai glanced timidly at Chen Fan, feeling a bit embarrassed. Chen Fan laughed dumbfounded and said, "Xiaobai, you're so amazing. How could you be so bad? This skill is something you just learned, and you are already very proficient in using it. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect. Practice more and you can improve your accuracy." Encouraged by Chen Fan, Xiaobai started waving his paws at the small tree again. This time, she didn't rush to wave her claws anymore. Instead, she stared at the small tree for a while before lifting her paw and gently waving it, boom. A lightning cat claw hit a small tree, and the tree with a diameter of 5 centimeters broke with a loud bang. Success! Chen Fan picked up Xiao Bai and laughed heartily. Xiao Bai also started meowing happily. One person, one cat, in this open space in the forest, choose the small trees next to them to practice Thunderbolt Cat Claw. Chen Fan learned about the attack power of Xiao Bai Thunderbolt Cat Claw and the farthest range of the attack. And Xiao Bai's Thunderbolt Cat Claw has become very convenient to use, with much improved accuracy. Not only that, she was gradually able to control the power of each attack. But after using Thunderbolt Cat Claw dozens of times, Xiao Bai's spirit became a bit decadent, and his head drooped weakly. Chen Fan could also feel that Xiao Bai's strength seemed to be greatly depleted. He quickly took out the chicken legs he had received on the square and said, "Xiao Bai, let's take a break for a while. You eat this chicken leg, and I'll take you to catch fish later." Catch fish. Xiao Bai's eyes widened and he regained his energy. She took the chicken legs with her paws and prepared to eat them with her little paws. But just as the chicken legs were about to be delivered to his mouth, Xiao Bai suddenly stopped again. She gave Chen Fan a determined glance, held the chicken leg in her mouth, and delivered it to him. She thought to herself, "Eat, eat." Hearing this sound in his mind and looking at the scene before him, Chen Fan's nose was sore and he almost burst into tears. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Was mocked by a fish. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 was mocked by a fish. Xiao Bai, you can eat it. Chen Fan took out the bread and said, "I have bread." Xiao Bai looked at Chen Fan calmly without any movement. Chen Fan looked at her large sapphire-like eyes and felt his heart melted. "I don't know how to cultivate yet. If I encounter a powerful monster, I can only rely on your Thunderbolt Cat Claw. Chen Fan gently touched Xiao Bai's head and said, "And the fish in that river are very powerful. When catching fish, you also need to use your attack. So you have enough food and strength, so we can be safer." Xiao Bai blinked, lowered his head, and ate the chicken leg. After Xiao Bai finished her chicken legs and drank some water, Chen Fan placed her on his shoulder, carried a harpoon, and ran like flying towards the southeast direction. After the power of Xiao Bai fed him back, his strength greatly increased, and he didn't feel tired running at all. Chen Fan even felt that even if he carried a pig on his shoulder now, he could run faster than before. After rushing out 2 miles, a river about 7 or 8 meters wide appeared in Chen Fan's sight. "Qinqing River, be careful, there are many level 2 and level 3 blue scale monster fish in the river, they are very powerful." Chen Fan placed Xiao Bai on the ground and approached the river cautiously, one person and one cat. When there were still more than 6 meters from the riverbank, Chen Fan stopped and hid behind a big tree with Xiao Bai. According to the information found on Qiandu earlier, 6 meters has entered the attack range of the blue scale demon fish. And this distance is also the most suitable distance for Xiao Bai's Thunderbolt Cat Claw. If you go any further, the attack power of Thunderbolt Cat Claw will be greatly reduced. Chen Fan poked his head out from behind the big tree, squinted his eyes, and in his line of sight, one system panel after another appeared in the Qinqing River. Monster name: Blue Scale Monster Fish, Power Level. Level 1.3, Normal, Race Level. Medium Awakening Monster Attribute. Water Monster Weakness. Earth, Race Skills. Water Gun, Water Cannon Bomb Monster State. Joyful Monster Preference. Likes to fight and attacks wildly whenever there is wind or grass stirring up. Potential level 1 star breaking through to combat power level requirement. Race level evolution route. 2. What kind of ghost? Battle Maniac. Chen Fan looked at the system panel, speechless for a moment. A group of fish, surprisingly fond of fighting and crazily attacking whenever there is wind or grass stirring up. Chen Fan poked his head out and quickly glanced at the big tree he was hiding in, as well as a blue stone over 2 meters high on his right side. Whether it's a big tree or a blue stone, there are many irregular pits on top. All marks left by the blue scale demon fish. Chen Fan took a deep breath and felt as if he had accidentally fallen into a wolf's den. If this kind of attack hits oneself, then it must be sieved. After a moment of contemplation, Chen Fan turned his gaze back to Chengxing. 1, 2, 3. Is there a mistake? There are 8 level 3 blue scale monster fish and 15 level 2 blue scale monster fish in this section of the river. Chen Fan frowned, picked up a stone, and threw it towards the Qinqing River. Puff! The stone fell into the water. The next moment, pooshie. 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 A series of water guns, condensed like sharp cones, shot densely towards us. Part of the water gun hit the tree, causing it to shake and make a loud bang. A part of the water gun flew past the big tree and landed on rocks and tree trunks further away, punching holes in those rocks and tree trunks. Chen Fan was dumbfounded. That is to say, these fish cannot land. If they can land unable to fight, admit it. Let's change places. It's not appropriate to fight a group of fish carrying guns with a harpoon in hand. Chen Fan waved his hand and decisively led Xiao Bai back more than 5 meters, then swam down the Qinqing River. In a few minutes, meow. Xiao Bai tugged at Chen Fan's pants leg and pointed to the left with his paw. Chen Fan looked over there and immediately felt happy. A small puddle. A small stream has separated from the Qinqing River, forming a puddle with a diameter of less than 3 meters in a depression. Chen Fan made a gesture and, together with Xiao Bai, touched the small puddle. He hid behind a stone less than 3 meters away from a small puddle and then poked his head out. System panels emerged one by one. 6 level 1 blue scale monster fish, 1 level 2 blue scale monster fish. No level 3. Chen Fan was overjoyed. I can't do a level 3 one, can't I still do a level 2 one? Chen Fan picked up a stone with a diameter of 1 foot and threw it directly into the puddle. Puff! The stone fell into the water, splashing high splashes of water. Pillars of water slanted out of the water. But because the water surface of the puddle is over 1 meter above the ground, the water column either hits the soil or rushes diagonally into the air, posing no threat to Chen Fan and Xiao Bai squatting on the ground. Suddenly 2 apple-sized bubbles, sparkling with colorful lights, floated up from the edge of the puddle. Chen Fan was taken aback for a moment, then his face changed drastically. He picked up Xiao Bai and suddenly jumped behind the blue stone. Boom! Boom! Just as Chen Fan fell behind the bluestone and gritted his teeth, the 2 blisters on the other side of the bluestone exploded like bombs. This is the skill of level 2 blue scale demon fish, water cannon bomb. Previously, Chen Fan saw this skill in the system panel. I never expected that Chen Fan struggled and lay on the blue stone. On the other side of the blue stone, there were potholes everywhere caused by the water cannon bomb. How unreasonable! Chen Fan felt lingering palpitations and was so angry that his 7 orifices were smoking. He then picked up a larger stone. He was by the puddle, carefully poking his head out. I saw the only level 2 blue scale monster fish in the puddle, spitting out a string of bubbles towards him. Pado. Chen Fan blinked and glanced at Xiao Bai, saying, "This stupid fish seems to be mocking us." Xiao Bai nodded and said, Chen Fan was speechless for a moment. He couldn't imagine that one day he would be mocked by a fish for growing so big. Don't be too arrogant. Chen Fan shouted fiercely, I have to catch you today and grill you. In the puddle, the fish showed a contemptuous expression in its eyes and spat out a string of bubbles. Pado. Then, 2 of the bubbles suddenly grew larger and flew upwards. That's another move. Chen Fan threw the big stone down and ran away with Xiao Bai. The water gun speed of the blue scale demon fish is quite fast, but the speed of this bubble bomb is much slower, floating in the air. As long as you are a little careful, it is basically unlikely to be hit. Sure enough, when Chen Fan and Xiao Bai ran away 7 or 8 meters, the bubble floated out of the puddle and exploded like a bomb in less than 4 seconds. A series of sharp cone-shaped water columns shot out in all directions. Chapter 2 will be released around 10 a.m. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Catching Fish, Help Little White Improve His Combat Power Level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Catching Fish, Help Little White Improve His Combat Power Level. This stupid fish's AoE skill is quite impressive. Chen Fan's eyes rolled and he said, "Xiao Bai, you go around from the side to the opposite side of the small puddle. Later, I will smash stones into the puddle here to attract the attention of those monster fish, and then you will take the opportunity to attack them with Thunderbolt Cat Claw. First, take down the level 2 one. Oh, it's the largest one, the one that just bombed us. As long as we get rid of the largest one, the rest will be much simpler." Little Bai was very clever, nodded, and quickly walked around to the opposite side of the puddle. She crawled on the ground, motionless. On this side, Chen Fan picked up another stone and walked to the edge of the puddle, throwing it down. A group of blue-scale demon fish in the water pit have all left in anger. The water gun sprayed continuously, and the bubble bomb kept flying out, chasing Chen Fan without listening to the bombing. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the little white on the other side stood up upright, his 2 cat paws being enveloped by the power of lightning. He brushed and brushed, hitting the second-level blue-scale monster fish with 4 consecutive lightning cat paws. The blue-scale demon fish was just emerging from the water, angrily spitting bubbles. By mistake, it received 4 lightning cat claws in a row, with several blood holes in its head and belly, and it flipped up its white belly. Little Bai, step back. After evading a few bubble bombs, Chen Fan waved his hand fiercely. Xiao Bai reacted quickly, turned around, and then retreated to a safe zone. A few sharp water guns didn't even touch her cat hair. Well done. Chen Fan laughed heartily and gave a thumbs up to Xiao Bai across from the puddle. Meow. Xiao Bai happily waved his paw. Now it's easy, there are only 6 level 1 blue-scale monster fish left in the water pit. The first level blue-scale monster fish only knows the skill, water gun, and does not know, bubble bomb. Chen Fan kept throwing stones on his side, attracting the attention of several blue-scale demon fish. Then the little white on the other side, Thunderbolt Cat Claw kept roaring. In less than 10 minutes, 6 blue-scale monster fish were killed and floated to the surface of the water. Chen Fan asked Xiao Bai to add 2 Thunderbolt Cat Claws to each blue-scale demon fish, and then grabbed a harpoon to catch all 7 fish. The second-level blue-scale monster fish is about 2 feet long, and the first-level blue-scale monster fish is also over 1 foot long. Chen Fan looked at Xiao Bai's attribute panel and helped him upgrade from level 1 to level 2. He needed 5 pounds of fresh fish and meat at level 1 or above, 1 fish crystal core at level 2, and 10 points of energy. There is enough fish and meat. Level 2 fish crystal nuclei are also present. Energy. Now the system energy is 19 points. Chen Fan clicked on the details and looked at it. Previously, the system had 10 points of energy left. This time, killing 6 level 1 blue-scale monster fish earned 6 points of energy, and killing 1 level 2 blue-scale monster fish earned 3 points of energy. Everything is ready, even the east wind is not lacking. Chen Fan glanced at the method on the system panel, which was very simple. Roast or cook the fish directly and give it to Xiao Bai to eat. Then, let Xiao Bai use the power of lightning to refine the crystal core of the level 2 blue-scale demon fish while feeling full. Very good. Chen Fan eagerly took out a dagger, dug out the crystal core of the level 2 blue-scale demon fish, and then removed the internal organs of all 7 fish. After washing them clean, they were placed on a leaf with a diameter of over 1 meter. He found an open and safe area, collected some dry firewood and leaves, and piled them all together. Xiao Bai kept lying beside the leaves, quietly watching Chen Fan's movements. Although she didn't quite understand what Chen Fan was doing, he didn't let her eat fish and she didn't move. After preparing everything, Chen Fan came over to pick up Xiao Bai, picked up the sack containing 7 fish, and returned to the dry firewood pile. He put down Xiao Bai and pointed to the pile of dry firewood and leaves, saying, "Xiao Bai, help me light a fire with Thunderbolt cat claw." Xiao Bai looked at Chen Fan, then at the dry firewood and leaves, and then gently waved his paw. Bang! Thunderbolt cat claws strike, and dry firewood flies out in all directions. But the dry leaves are burning. Chen Fan quickly got up, gathered up the scattered firewood, and then blew a few breaths to make the fire burn up. He picked up a fish with a harpoon and roasted it directly on the fire. The strange fragrance overflowed, and the little white beside the fire drooled. "Don't worry, it will be ready soon." Chen Fan glanced at Xiao Bai and comforted him. In no time, the first fish was grilled, and after Chen Fan tore off a piece, the rest was given to Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai lay on a large leaf with a diameter of over 1 meter, grabbing grilled fish and eating it wildly. Chen Fan also took a few big bites. The taste of this blue scale monster fish is really good. It has fewer spines and more flesh, and when you take one bite, it's full of oil in your mouth. Unfortunately, there's no salt. Chen Fan grilled fish while eating. All 7 fish have been grilled. But Xiao Bai only ate 3 and his stomach became round and plump. Other things, Chen Fan wrapped them all in big leaves. 3 fish, 5 pounds is enough. Speaking of which, after Xiao Bai woke up, his appetite increased significantly, and he was able to eat so much. Chen Fan took out the level 2 blue scale demon fish crystal core and placed it in front of Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai widened his eyes and looked at the diamond-shaped crystal nucleus. She clearly sensed the massive water energy in the crystal nucleus. Chen Fan also lay on the leaves and said solemnly, "Xiao Bai, you will hold this crystal nucleus with your 2 small claws later, and then slowly activate the power of lightning. Remember, you must slowly activate it, don't rush out the power like before, understand?" Xiao Bai. To be cautious, Chen Fan took a small stone and let Xiao Bai hold it, then slowly stimulated the power of lightning. Zzz. Thunder and lightning appeared on both of Xiao Bai's small claws, covering the small stone. The lightning power that was enough to destroy the small stone enveloped it without instantly exploding it. "Xiao Bai, you're too smart." Chen Fan was overjoyed. Upon hearing this praise, Xiao Bai squinted his eyes and smiled, bang. The small stones she held in her claws exploded into ashes. "Calm down, don't worry, concentrate." Chen Fan touched Xiao Bai's head and gestured for her to pick up the crystal nucleus of the 2nd-level blue scale demon fish with both claws. You use your 2 claws to pick up this crystal nucleus, and then slowly activate the power of lightning to wrap it around. Chen Fan looked at the instructions on the system panel and said, "Then, the power of lightning will guide the power in this crystal nucleus out, and you will devour all the power inside. Do you understand?" Xiao Bai nodded and said, Under Chen Fan's gaze, Xiao Bai carefully picked up the diamond-shaped crystal nucleus. Her claws began to emit lightning again. Thunderbolt light envelopes the crystal core of the level 2 blue scale demon fish. At the next moment, Chen Fan sensed a powerful force surging out of the crystal nucleus. Guide that force out, swallow it up. Chen Fan felt sweat all over his palms. He is commanding Xiao Bai according to the textbook on the system, but he is not sure if Xiao Bai can stabilize and understand how to use lightning power to guide the power in the crystal nucleus. It's not easy to catch a level 2 blue scale demon fish. If this one were to be discarded, it might not be as easy to get this crystal nucleus for a while. I saw the little white opening his big mouth and taking a strong breath, zzz. Thunderbolt enveloped a strange force, like water, absorbed by little white. And the diamond-shaped crystal core held by Xiao Bai's two claws instantly turned into a dull stone, and then shattered into pieces. Success! Chen Fan suppressed his ecstasy and reached out his right palm, gently pressing it on Xiao Bai's head. The last step consumed 10 points of system energy, helped Xiao Bai make the final improvement. It was like an electric current rising from Chen Fan's abdomen, passing through his right arm and transmitting to Xiao Bai's head. Xiao Bai's body suddenly shook. Boom! A strange force shook Chen Fan's palm open. Meow! Xiao Bai let out a loud scream, and suddenly his body swelled a bit. At the same time, she was enveloped by electric snakes all over her body, which looked like they were forged by lightning. And the small white attribute panel in Chen Fan's line of sight finally changed. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Little White breaks Level 2, Awakens Skill Thunderbolt. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Little White breaks Level 2, Awakens Skill Thunderbolt. Royal Beast Name. Puppet Cat Little White, Power Level. Level 2, Normal, Race Level. Lower Awakening Royal Beast Attribute. Thunder Weakness of Beast Control. Fire, Race Skills. Thunderbolt Cat Claw Plus, Thunderbolt Flash Plus Beast Control Status. Happy Beast Preference. Likes to stay in Chen Fan's arms or shoulders, likes to be lightly stroked by Chen Fan's head, potential level. 6 stars breakthrough to Level 3 requirement. 10 pounds of fresh fish and meat above Level 2, 2 crystal nuclei of Level 3 fish, 1 thunder light grass, or 1 thunder yuan fruit above 50 years, 15 points of energy. Usage steps. Race level evolution route. 2 routes. The first one is the ordinary evolutionary path, from Puppet Cat to Bloodthirsty Cat to Starry Sky Shadow Cat. The second step is to hide the evolutionary path of mutation, from Puppet Cat to Phantom Thunderbolt Cat to Purple Electric Cat Emperor to Thunderbolt Piercing T-Maul Emperor, successfully broken through to Level 2. Chen Fan nodded secretly and said, the defense of the blue scale demon fish is not strong. As long as it is not in deep water, Xiao Bai's current strength should be able to kill the diving Level 3 blue scale demon fish. But even if there were such puddles just now, there wouldn't necessarily be a Level 3 blue scale monster fish. If you don't have the money to purchase materials, it will be much more difficult to help the novice upgrade their combat power level from Level 2 to Level 3. Suddenly a strange force suddenly transmitted from Xiao Bai. Xiao Bai, whose combat power level has broken through to Level 2, has started transmitting power to Chen Fan again. Although Chen Fan has experienced it once and is mentally prepared, he is still overjoyed. What a powerful force! Sensing the surging force, Chen Fan instinctively clenched his hands into a fist. The power transmitted by Xiao Bai this time is at least 3 times more than the previous time. Before Chen Fan could activate the star power, 2 whirlwinds formed beneath his feet, rolling up a sky full of dust. Chen Fan felt that his 5 senses were much stronger. My eyesight has improved. Hearing has also become much more sensitive. Let me see how strong my current strength is. After Xiao Bai's power was transmitted, Chen Fan scanned around and couldn't wait to choose a tree. That tree has a diameter of at least 15 centimeters and its bark is as hard as stone. According to the method learned from the Beast Forum, Chen Fan used his mind to control the force inside his body, slowly converging on his right fist, and then hit the big tree with a heavy punch. Click. A big tree with a diameter of about 15 centimeters broke open and made a piercing sound. Meow. Xiao Bai jumped up and onto Chen Fan's shoulder. Chen Fan grinned and said, with my current strength, I should be able to protect myself in this black ant forest, right? At least if you encounter a Level 1 monster, don't worry too much. Suddenly, Chen Fan was taken aback for a moment and said, Hey, Lei Shan. Has Xiao Bai awakened a new skill? Chen Fan clicked the plus sign after a few lightning flashes, and added 9 proficiency points to Xiao Bai. Then, he looked at Xiao Bai and said, Xiao Bai, you have awakened a new skill called Thunderbolt. Can you use this skill now to see if it's powerful? Xiao Bai nodded and walked to the side. She is no longer as ignorant about the use of skills as she was at the beginning. Besides, after Chen Fan added 9 points to her lightning flash, now her lightning flash has reached 10 proficiency points. Xiao Bai squinted his eyes slightly. Pop. A lightning bolt exploded in the air. Chen Fan was surprised and said, "Where are people?" "No, cats." Almost at the same time, bang. On a big tree 10 meters away, Xiao Bai fiercely bumped into a big tree, then stuck to the trunk and slid down. "I'll go." Chen Fan quickly rushed over and picked up Xiao Bai with heartache, saying, "Xiao Bai, are you okay? Are you okay?" Xiao Bai felt dizzy and smirked, then took a full break. Chen Fan checked Xiao Bai's body and found that he was not injured, so he calmed down. He turned his head and glanced at the position he had been standing in before. About 10 meters away Xiao Bai just flashed in the air, a flash of lightning emerged, and then like a blink of an eye, he collided with this big tree. Chen Fan had been staring wide-eyed before, and apart from that lightning bolt, he had not seen the path of Little White flying past. It feels like a Little White has traveled through space. Is this Lei Shan? So strong. By the way, if it weren't for this big tree blocking it, Xiao Bai should be able to fly even further, right? Chen Fan immediately took Xiao Bai and ran to a more open area, starting to study and train Xiao Bai's 2 skills after breaking through to level 2. After training for over 2 hours, Xiao Bai became proficient in using Lightning Flash and was able to easily and freely control the distance of Lightning Flash. And the upgraded Thunderbolt Cat Claw has also doubled its power, making it easy to make a big hole in a big tree with just one claw. The current distance of Thunderbolt Cat's Claw has reached 13 meters, which is the same as the distance of Thunderbolt. But with the cooperation of Thunderbolt, the distance of Thunderbolt Cat Claw is almost not too limited. Chen Fan asked Xiao Bai to use lightning flashes and lightning cat claws to attack, only to see lightning flashes rising one by one in the jungle, and big trees banging loudly, with charred holes appearing on them. Seeing this scene, Chen Fan was both surprised and delighted. Fortunately, with the help of Thunder Flash, the strength of the novice has increased by several levels. Surprisingly, if this level 2 monster in the Black Ant Forest also has an attack power similar to Thunderbolt Cat Claw, then it is really very dangerous. Just now, he thought his current strength was enough to protect himself in this Black Ant Forest. Now it seems that it is still a bit too arrogant. This level 2 monster in the Black Ant Forest, even if its attack is not as good as Little White, is definitely very terrifying. Unless we break through to the first level, we cannot withstand such a sharp attack. No wonder the long-legged beauty on the gorilla's shoulder said that this assessment will live through these 3 days and 3 nights. People who have just crossed over, even if awakened, are still ordinary people. Ordinary people carrying cold weapons, facing monsters of this level, even if a large group of people join forces, what is the use? I'm afraid I don't even have a chance to run. 3 days later, I don't know how many people will survive and how much. Thinking of the cruelty of this world, Chen Fan couldn't help but give a bitter smile. After a moment of contemplation, Chen Fan glanced at the material that elevated Xiao Bai's combat power level to level 3, then opened Qiandu and searched for Thunderlight Grass. A pile of information and pictures. After reviewing the information and pictures, Chen Fan opened the 1000 Degrees map again, found Donghai City, and then searched for Leguang Grass around Donghai City. On the map, many signs of thunder grass immediately appeared. These signs are places where it is possible for Leguang grass to grow, or where Leguang grass has been found before. But what's deadly is the nearest area is over 300 miles away from Donghai City. There is no thunder grass near Donghai City. If you want to obtain Leguang grass, you may have to go to certain specific markets to buy it. If you have money. Chen Fan furrowed his brows and entered Lei Yuanhua on the 1,000 degrees. This is a fruit that grows on the trunk of a shrub, the size of a grape, with lightning-like patterns swirling around the fruit, which is very unique. Chen Fan clicked on the 1,000 degrees map again and searched around Donghai City. The symbols of Lei Yuanhua were displayed one by one. Chen Fan's eyes lit up. One of the signs is actually on the edge of the Black Ant Forest. There's a play. Help the novice break through to level 3 requirements. 10 pounds of fresh fish and meat at level 2 or above, 2 crystal nuclei of level 3 fish, 1 thunder light grass, or 1 thunder yuan fruit at level 50 or above, 15 points of energy. 2 level 3 fish crystal nuclei may be a bit difficult, but it is not impossible to achieve. The only trouble is this thunder fruit. Chen Fan enlarged the map, frowning tighter and tighter. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Level 2 Iron Eating Black Ants. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Level 2 Iron Eating Black Ants. The Black Ant Forest does indeed have Lei Yuanhua. But Lei Yuanhua grows on the edge of the Black Ant Forest, downstream of the Qinqing River, near the Beast Mountain. Most second-level iron-eating black ants in the Black Ant Forest are concentrated in that area. Not only that, there are also many monsters above level 3 from Wanshou Mountain coming over, which is a high-risk area. Chen Fan is also very conflicted in his heart. Xiaobai has broken through to level 2, and trying to fight a dozen level 3 blue-scale demon fish in the sinking Star River is definitely not a problem. After all, it's a fish in the river. If you can't fight it, you can still run. Anyway, no matter how powerful the level 3 blue-scale monster fish is, it cannot climb ashore. But if you encounter monsters at level 3 or above in the jungle, then it's not about dying on your own. Just die on your own. With the speed of Xiaobai and the new skill, Thunderbolt, there may still be a chance to escape. But Chen Fan himself is definitely a dead end. Go or not. After Xiaobai reaches level 2, as long as they don't go to those dangerous areas, they basically won't encounter any major danger. After these 3 days, you can enter the college to study and then open a Royal Beast cultivation shop to easily earn money, and then buy materials to help novices upgrade. He actually doesn't need to take such a risk. But for some reason, deep down in Chen Fan's heart, there was always a strange impulse. Growing up in an orphanage for over a decade, Chen Fan often has a playful and smiling face, with a nonchalant appearance. But he actually knows very well that deep down inside himself, there is a craziness. There are so many children in the orphanage. He was the only one who went to war with a group of wild dogs to protect a little sister. On the other hand, after signing the contract with Xiaobai, Chen Fan felt that the bond between the two sides had deepened. He is very eager to see Xiaobai's growth now, so he wishes to pick Lei Yuanhua now and help Xiaobai improve his combat power level. That feeling has never been felt before. First, find a place and enter the beast control space to take a look. Chen Fan's mind was spinning. If you can enter the beast control space at any time, it's equivalent to having an invincible state. As soon as he thought of it, Chen Fan glanced left and right, making sure there were no people or monsters around, and then crawled into the dense forest with dense trees. As soon as he entered the dense forest, Chen Fan communicated with the beast control space. In front of him, a 6-pointed star formation immediately appeared. Xiaobai, you go first to the beast control space. Chen Fan pointed to the 6-pointed star formation. Xiaobai leaped into the air, jumped onto the 6-pointed star formation, and slowly sank into the beast control space. Before the disappearance of the hexagram formation, Chen Fan also jumped into the middle of the hexagram formation. But there was no response. The 6-pointed star formation also quickly disappeared. Indeed, we still need to rely on the system. Chen Fan clicked on the Enter button in the corner of the system panel. A vortex with a diameter of over 2 meters appeared out of thin air in front of him. Is this the door to enter the royal beast space? Chen Fan touched his chin and thrust his harpoon into the door. The next moment, he immediately saw half of the harpoon protruding from his beast control space. Interesting. Chen Fan threw the harpoon in and then threw the leaves wrapped in grilled fish into the vortex space door, bang. Wrapped in a pile of grilled fish leaves, it bounced back. The grilled fish scattered all over the ground. Chen Fan was stunned for a moment. Why can't grilled fish be delivered when the harpoon can be delivered? Wait, Chen Fan squinted his eyes, picked up 2 grilled fish, and cautiously walked into the vortex space door. After a slight daze, Chen Fan was down to earth and appeared in his beast control space. Blue sky and white clouds, green grassland. 4 strange spatial doors, meow. Xiao Bai jumped into Chen Fan's arms. Ha ha ha. Chen Fan rolled on the grass with Xiao Bai in his arms. After playing around for a while, Chen Fan sat up with Xiao Bai in his arms and said, "Don't make any noise for now. I need to check the vortex space door." Chen Fan put Xiao Bai down and stared blankly at the grilled fish in his hand. I threw the grilled fish into the vortex teleportation door before, but it bounced back. But he successfully came in, holding a grilled fish in each hand. What's going on here? A thought came to Chen Fan's mind, and his eyes immediately showed joy. He placed 2 grilled fish on the grass in front of Xiao Bai, then picked up the harpoon and left the animal enclosure. After a moment of contemplation, Chen Fan clicked enter again. The vortex space door reappears. Chen Fan threw the harpoon in his hand towards the vortex portal, bang. The harpoon bounced back and almost pierced Chen Fan's foot. Chen Fan picked up 2 small stones and threw them towards the vortex space door, causing the stones to bounce back. Not really whether it's harpoons, grilled fish, or stones, they can't enter the beast control space without leaving Chen Fan. Chen Fan slightly raised the corner of his mouth and laughed. He lifted the harpoon and pushed it forward, both the harpoon and arm entering the vortex space door. Then, he gently threw the harpoon fell onto the grass in the beast control space. Sure enough. Chen Fan's eyes lit up and he understood what was going on. Except for himself and the contracted beast, any external object must come into contact with him in order to enter the beast space. Whether it's a harpoon, grilled fish, or a stone, once it leaves his hand. Or in other words, without contact with his body, it cannot penetrate the space gate. Chen Fan was both surprised and delighted. Previously, he was actually worried that there would be a fatal bug in the teleportation gate of the beast control space. If the enemy or monster was near him, when he rushed into the beast control space, the enemy or monster would follow behind, wouldn't he also directly rush into the beast control space? Now it seems that this problem does not exist. Without physical contact with him, enemies or monsters cannot charge in. Chen Fan gave a strange laugh, picked up the grilled fish on the ground, wrapped it in leaves, and then stepped into the vortex space door. In the beast control space, Xiao Bai is happily gnawing on a grilled fish. Another grilled fish, only the complete fish bones remain. After awakening, Xiao Bai became a foodie. Chen Fan shook his head with a smile and walked to a door in front of the Imperial Beast space. The beast space seen on the Beast Forum does not have a door. Chen Fan is also very curious about what exactly is behind this door. After hesitating for a moment, he cautiously stepped into the door, bang. As if colliding with an air wall, Chen Fan crouched down and covered his nose. At the same time, a system message came to mind in his mind to enter a different space. The level of the beast's combat power must reach at least level 20, and the host's cultivation level must reach at least level 4 or above. Your grandfather's system. Do you insist that I burst into tears before reminding you? Why did you go earlier? Hasty. Just entered the beast control space. He knew how to poke twice with a harpoon, but this time he was careless. Chen Fan covered his nose and stood up in hatred. Hee hee, hee 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 hee. Xiao Bai covered his mouth and chuckled. It's not you who hit it, can you still laugh if you hit it? Chen Fan couldn't help but roll his eyes. I'll go find the upgraded materials for you, Xiao Bai. Chen Fanning clicked the exit button on the system interface. The vortex space door, which was exactly the same as before, appeared again in front of him out of nowhere. Using the summoning array to allow Xiao Bai to enter and exit the beast control space, the speed was a bit slow. Chen Fan directly asked Xiao Bai to pass through the space door with him and exit the beast control space. After confirming that the royal beast space could freely enter and exit, Chen Fan was full of confidence, walking and stopping one by one along the Qinqing River. In fact, in addition to the trump card of the beast control space, the system also has a function of seeking good luck and avoiding bad luck within 50 meters of Chen Fan's line of sight. The monster's attribute panel will appear. This can allow Chen Fan to detect high-level monsters in advance. With such two bottom cards, Chen Fan has become much bolder and runs much faster. Along the way, I encountered several more puddles, each containing several level 2 blue scale monster fish. Chen Fan and Xiao Bai repeated their old tricks. Chen Fan threw stones here to attract the attention of the blue scale monster fish. Xiao Bai ran to the other side and fired a cold arrow, killing those blue scale monster fish in just a few clicks. The level 2 fish that helped Xiao Bai break through to level 3 is now more than enough. After grilling all the fish and having a big meal with Xiao Bai, Chen Fan continued to take Xiao Bai down the river. Time slowly passes by. The sun is setting in the west. After running out for more than 5 miles again, Chen Fan suddenly slowed down and gestured to Xiao Bai. There is a level 2 iron-eating black ant and 4 level 1 iron-eating black ants more than 30 meters ahead on the left. Xiao Bai immediately bared his teeth and put on an eager look to try. Okay, then go and exterminate them. Although I trained with a novice for a few hours before, I can only truly grow through practical experience. Chen Fan knew that Xiao Bai wanted to show off his skills when he saw her appearance. He lowered his cat and slowly approached the few iron-eating black ants with his little white. As he walked, Chen Fan's gaze swept around. Everything around is very safe, there are no other monsters besides 5 iron-eating black ants. Chen Fan squinted his eyes and communicated with Xiao Bai with his mind. The level 2 iron-eating black ant, which is 60 centimeters long, poses the greatest threat. Let's first eliminate the level 2 iron-eating black ant. Xiao Bai nodded. Chen Fan said, when the distance approaches about 20 meters, you use lightning to flash past it and then use lightning cat claws to catch it off guard. Remember, the main attacks of iron-eating black ants are large acid sprays and 2 large claws like crabs. When attacking it, you should wrap around behind it and not pull too close, about 4 meters apart. Your Thunderbolt cat claw can exert tremendous power at this distance and avoid its pliers. After using lightning flash to bring it closer, use lightning cat claws to attack its head, preferably with 1 blow to death. Also be careful of the acid from other iron-eating black ants. Xiao Bai nodded repeatedly. How clever. Chen Fan gently rubbed Xiao Bai's head. A flash of light shone on Xiao Bai's body, pop. At the next moment, she had already appeared in front of the level 2 iron-eating black ant. Chen Fan was stunned for a moment. The tactics I just mentioned are not like this. End of this chapter.